Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about integrating Convertkit and WooCommerce and specifically tagging somebody when they've purchased a product and therefore they will no longer get specific emails because they've purchased a product. So you don't want to send them a sales email for a product they've already purchased, of course. To do this, you basically, of course, need a Convertkit account and you're going to need a couple plugins, Convertkit for WooCommerce and then Convertkit. And under each one of these, you would just go in and connect your Convertkit account. So if you come here and you see something like this on a product page and it says the Convertkit integration is not active, then you do need to go back and set it. So I'm going to make sure that that is active here for both the regular Convertkit and then the Convertkit for WooCommerce add-on. So you'll go ahead and grab your API key and your API secret. Obviously, I'm blanking these out for demonstration purposes. I'm going to click Save Changes. And I'm going to set this to order completed. And same thing, put your API secret and your API key in here. Send purchase data and go ahead and I'm just going to write data to a log file. So now that that's saved, I'm going to go back to the product and I'm going to click reload. So if you see the Convertkit integration here, then you know you've done it correctly. All right, there's a couple things I want to talk about, the difference between products and then actually doing something like pages or posts. And I'm going to start with the pages first, just because it kind of makes sense. So with the pages, if you go in here now, let's, for example, work with your About Us page, and this applies to any page or any post. What you can do is you can come down here and you can actually tag your visitors. So this will apply to people who have viewed this page. And so what I did for my account is you can see that I have tagged various people that have visited pages. And so I know that I have lots of people lots of my subscribers are visiting the shop page and just the website in general. So just that kind of have that data. The idea is that you want to have the data, even if you never do anything with it, when you're ready to use it, it will be there. So I go through and I create a tag for each one of my pages, visited this, visited that, visited a blog post, etc. And then I come here and I go ahead and set that tag, update, and now anytime that they visit that page, they will be tagged in Convertkit if they're already a subscriber. Obviously, if they're not a subscriber, there's nothing Convertkit can do. Now for products, it's slightly different. You can choose to tag them. So you could set up a tag for each one of your products if you want, and then you can say, okay, if they've purchased this item, then they're tagged with this. You could also assign them to a form, or you can assign them to a specific course. So let's say that you had specific things you needed to send out about Number Talks. And so if they bought this Number Talks product, then they need to know more about Number Talks. You say, okay, when they buy this product, Number Talks Word Problems Within 20, they're going to be sent through this particular course, Number Talks K through 5. So there's one other funky thing that happens when someone buys a product with Convertkit, which I think has the potential to be an amazing asset. However, Convertkit, I don't think has finished fleshing it out completely. Let me explain. Is that when someone buys a product, a tag is automatically created under products. It only lists the products that have been purchased. So if that product has not been purchased, you will not see that tag there. And you may have to go and manually either create a regular tag, or if you want to force it, what I do is I do a fake order for that product. And yes, technically it'll make your stats off by one person or one purchase, but I just set up a free coupon code so that I can order that product. It forces Convertkit to create a tag for that product, and then I'm ready to go. So I'm going to do this now for this account that I'm working with. So we have Number Talks Word Problems Within 20. So I'm going to go ahead and view the page, and I'm going to do a fake checkout. And mine says link to this cart because I have a plugin. The average user who's not an administrator wouldn't see that. And I'm blanking out the coupon code I'm using just so that nobody can use it. So I've applied my coupon. Now I can check out. So I've checked out now. And if I go over to Convertkit, you'll see here that I am now a new subscriber. So here's my subscriber information. And if you look down here under products, I can click that tag, and you'll see that there's one subscriber under there. So to recap, you can assign a tag or a form or a course to a product, or you can let Convertkit auto tag them. Here's the limitations with this, which really frustrates me right now, and I hope to one day update this video if Convertkit fixes this. If I go to visual automations, there's so much I can do. And I'm going to call this one delete because this is just a test. And notice that it's paused, so nothing's going to happen. So I'm going to create automation. I can start the automation based on a purchase. So just select your default list, select the purchase that you've wanted to make. Let's say dinosaur research, add event. So then what I could do is I can add a remove tag. So I could do, like, let's say that I wanted them to be tagged downloaded 3-point activity. I realize this doesn't make sense, just for show. Then woohoo, they're tagged, and then that's it. So you can do this during visual automation. So that way, if you want to tag, and you could even tag multiple, let's say that you wanted to tag people who bought the dinosaur research and bought farm animals, then you can add that event right there. So that means that if they bought product A or if they bought product B, then they're going to be tagged with this. And so you can keep going. And I think you can do like maybe 4 of these per visual automation. The problem is I want to go under automations and I want to go under rules because this is one of my favorite things to use. And let's say I just wanted to have several things happen. Purchases a product. Right now, you can't use Convertkit purchases as a rule, so it can't trigger anything, which to me is very frustrating because I would want, if they purchased a product, then I would want that to trigger to various things. So that is a huge limitation right now. If Convertkit ever fixes that, where it's just automatically tagging them with a purchase, then I think that's going to be awesome. I'm going to go into my account now, and I'm going to show you why this is a limitation for me. And again, this is off, so it's not going to actually fire. So my most popular music ed product is something called Rainbow Ukulele. It's for teaching ukulele. And as part of my email sent out to customers, I asked them, do you own it? Because I have a ton of people that have purchased it from TPT, and I don't want to try to sell them from my website if they already own it. So I would want to exclude quite a bit. So let's say that I'm running a promotion. So I was added to a tag, I don't know, let's say interested. I know they're interested in Rainbow Ukulele. Okay, so they're interested in Rainbow Ukulele, but I want to make sure if they already own it, that they're excluded from all of this. Like maybe they had clicked something in an email that kind of indicated they were interested in teaching ukulele. So I'm like, ooh, maybe they need Rainbow Ukulele. But if they already have it, they don't need this. So what I could do is I could say condition. If the scriber has tag purchased Rainbow Ukulele, then what I would want them to do is if they've purchased it, then I want them to exit this automation. And if they have not purchased it, then I would want to keep going forward. But if I was only using the Convertkit automatically added tags, the ones that they create down under purchases, I can't do that. Like I wouldn't even mind if I had to create another condition that said, okay, if they had my created tag, and if Convertkit had a Convertkit created tag, but those tags don't appear. The purchases, they're not here. So the only thing you can do with them is at the very top with event. So yes, you can take the Convertkit created tags and then add your own tag, but that seems like a waste of time to have to constantly create it. So at this time, I currently recommend that if you are working on tagging your products, go ahead and actually tag it on your product page, which means you're going to have to go into Convertkit. You're going to have to create a tag for every product that you actually want to tag, and then you'll have to come back in here and then select that tag. So right now, I only do it for the products that I am actively promoting. Because remember, later on, what I could do is that let's say that I want to tag these people. I can select this, and it's going to open up those people that are subscribed. Then I can bulk select them, and I can add a tag. So I can go in and manually do it later if I decide I really need to run a promotion. So I do let Convertkit automatically tag some things. But for my bigger products, which I'm running promotions for, I go ahead and create a manual tag. I hope that makes sense. So to recap, create a manual tag for the products that you're running promotions, and then connect it on WooCommerce on your WordPress website. Then if you decide, like, you had the option over here to do courses and forums, then what I would do with your custom tag is go in under automations, create a rule that once that tag is added, the tag you created, like for example, if I had purchased Pitch Hill, then they would be subscribed to a sequence if you need to do that, if you needed to send them information. So this video is just a little bit more about Convertkit and WordPress and WooCommerce integration. Part 2 is going to be setting up a promotion from beginning to end.